Hey, everyone. Imagine a world where humans never call the shots. No skyscrapers, no internet, no rush hour chaos. Instead, Earth is ruled by betta fish. That's right, those dazzling, fin-flaring Siamese fighting fish with colors that pop like underwater fireworks. Sounds like a wild sci-fi splash, right? Well, grab your snorkel, because we're diving into a what-if adventure. What if betta fish evolved to become the planet's top bosses? Betta fish are already the rock stars of the aquatic world. These tiny, Southeast Asian swimmers strut their stuff in rice paddies and slow-moving streams, flashing iridescent fins to flex their territorial swagger. With a special labyrinth organ, they can gulp air from the surface, thriving where other fish flop. They're fierce, solitary, and build bubble nests like aquatic architects. But what if these colorful fighters got a major upgrade and took over Earth? In this video, we're exploring how betta fish could evolve into super smart rulers, build shimmering underwater empires, and maybe even outswim us humans at running the planet. From glowing coral cities to a culture of fin flares and bubble dances, this is going to be one vibrant, watery ride. So, stick with us as we plunge into a world ruled by the ultimate fin overlords. Let's make waves. How did these aquatic champs go from paddy dwellers to Earth's big shots? So, how did these fin-flaring, bubble nest-building betta fish go from paddy dwelling aquatic champs to Earth's big shots? Let's dive into the science well. Science with a splash of sci-fi shimmer to figure out why betta fish could evolve into the ultimate rulers of the planet. Betta fish are already the superstars of their watery world. Those vibrant, iridescent fins. They're like underwater flags, flashing to scare off rivals or charm a mate in Southeast Asian streams. Their labyrinth organ lets them gulp air from the surface, thriving in oxygen-poor waters where other fish would flop. They're territorial loners, building bubble nests with the precision of tiny architects. And their aggressive swagger makes them natural-born fighters. To rule Earth, though, they need a serious brain boost and a wave of evolutionary magic. Picture this: millions of years ago, Earth gets a soggy makeover. Maybe massive flooding turns continents into sprawling wetlands, or a cosmic quirk wipes out terrestrial mammals. Humans never made it past the starting line. Our ancestors drowned in the deep end. But betta fish? They're thriving in their flooded playground, ready to steal the show. A lucky genetic mutation supercharges their brains, turning their territorial smarts into full-on genius. Suddenly, they're not just guarding bubble nests, they're planning, inventing, maybe even hosting the first betta fish splash bash. Let's talk about their bodies, because those are the real MVPs. Those flowing fins could evolve for faster, more controlled swimming, like organic sails for zipping through currents, or even skimming above water. Their labyrinth organ might upgrade, letting them spend more time on the surface or in shallow air pockets, bridging the gap to amphibious life. Their small, agile bodies already built for darting through plants could develop nimble fin tips, like fingers for crafting tools from shells or driftwood. Unlike humans, who needed fire to conquer, bettas could stay aquatic, ruling a waterlogged Earth without ever needing dry land. Their solitary streak is their secret weapon. Betta fish are fiercely independent, but not total loners. They flirt and fight with purpose. In our story, they get chattier, evolving fin flares, bubble signals, and low hums into a legit aquatic language, like an underwater symphony. Their knack for territorial strategy could spark alliances, sharing nest-building tricks or food-hunting hacks, like human shared stories. Over time, they form loose, competitive clans, linking submerged cities with current-riding signals like a watery internet. Why betta fish? They've got the flair, the ferocity, and the smarts to seize their moment. A flooded Earth would be their stage, and they'd swim right into the starring role. Next up, we'll explore what their shimmering empire looks like. Think glowing coral cities, bubble art, and a whole lot of fin finesse. Stay tuned, this betta fish takeover is just getting splashy. We've just splashed through how betta fish could evolve into Earth's flashiest masterminds. With supercharged brains, sail-like fins, and a knack for ruling the waves in their flooded playground. But what happens when these fin-flaring fighters start building their own empire? Buckle up, because we're diving into the shimmering, watery world of a betta fish-run planet. Spoiler, it's like an underwater rave with extra bubbles, glow, and territorial swagger. Picture a betta fish city thriving in a flooded world, where submerged ruins of human skyscrapers are draped with swaying aquatic plants and glowing coral spires. This isn't some dry, concrete sprawl, oh no. The cities are sculpted from shells and driftwood, pulsing with bioluminescent algae lanterns that light up the currents like underwater stars. Betta fish dart through coral tunnels, they're iridescent, fins flashing like neon signs, some hauling seaweed baskets, others flaring their fins in a showy strut. It's a bustling, aquatic metropolis that's equal parts fierce and dazzling. Like a sci-fi aquarium on steroids. Let's talk society. Because these fish keep it spicy yet strategic. They're naturally solitary, loving their own turf. But their territorial instincts evolve into competitive alliances. Picture dominant bettas, their fins glowing brighter than the rest. Leading clans with bold flares and hums, decisions happen. In glowing coral councils where fish signal with fin waves and bubble bursts. Like an underwater debate club with extra sass. It's all about balance, no chaos. Just controlled swagger, with maybe a synchronized swim to seal a good plan. There. Fierce independence means every fish has a role, from crafting tools to guarding the best currents. Their tech is pure aquatic genius. Forget steel or circuits, bettas craft tools from shells, seaweed, and polished stones. Like spears for hunting or nets for gathering algae. Their labyrinth organ lets them work near the surface, building water current turbines to power their glowing cities. Picture a betta engineer, fins shimmering in the current, tweaking a driftwood pump to channel water through algae farms. They harness underwater flows for energy, keeping their coral spires lit without harming the ecosystem. It's ecotech so slick, it makes our factories look like rusty relics. Culture? These fish are the artists of the deep. Their art is all about motion. Think bubble mosaics that float in patterns or fin. Display dances that ripple through the water like living paintings. Festivals are a splash, with bettas performing synchronized swims. Their fins creating waves of color under glowing algae lights. Picture a twilight ritual where clans gather, humming in harmony as they celebrate. A big fish hall, their bubble nests sparkling like chandeliers. Their language, evolved from fin gestures, bubble signals, and low-frequency hums, is like an aquatic opera, saying everything from this turf's mine to time for a swim party. It's a culture of vibrant flair, where every fish feels like a star in their watery world, bonded by their love of the currents. As they spread across Earth's flooded landscapes, their cities connect through current-riding signals and bubble trails, like a shimmering aquatic network linking coral hubs from rice paddies to sunken cities. It's a world of ferocity, beauty, and eco-harmony, built on the betta's knack for thriving in watery chaos. But can they keep this underwater utopia swimming? Next, we'll dive into the challenges they face, from predators to their own feisty attitudes. Stay with us, this betta fish saga is about to get wilder than a fin-flaring showdown. We've just swirled through the dazzling, watery world of betta fish civilization, glowing coral cities, fin-flaring dance parties, and tech that's all about bubbles and aquatic swagger. But ruling Earth isn't all smooth swimming, even for these vibrant fin champs. So, what challenges could stir up the currents of their underwater utopia? Let's dive into the wild, wave-crashing obstacles our betta fish pals might face to keep their shimmering empire afloat. First off, the environment is a slippery slope. Betta fish are the kings of flooded rice paddies and slow-moving streams, thriving in warm, oxygen-poor waters thanks to their air-breathing labyrinth organ. But Earth's not one big aquarium. Try ruling frozen lakes, deep oceans, or dry deserts. With no water to flare in, expanding beyond their shallow, plant-filled habitats means finding new flooded zones, but pollution, temperature swings, or drying wetlands could choke their coral cities. Picture a clan darting through murky currents, their fins dimmed as they repair a shell structure battered by a toxic tide. They'd need to get super crafty, maybe engineering algae filters or current-riding rafts to colonize new waters to keep their cities glowing. Then there's the predator problem. Bettas are small. Think a few inches of feisty flair and evolved. Predators like giant pike or crocodiles could see them as a colorful snack. Imagine a high-stakes showdown, a squad of bettas wielding glowing coral spears, flaring their fins to fend off the massive predator in a swirling underwater canyon. Their hums echoing like war cries. Their smarts and ferocity could shine, maybe rigging bubble traps to confuse foes. But a swarm of predators could overwhelm even the flashiest clan. Exploring deeper waters might bring nastier threats, like evolved eels crashing their coral festivals with a zap. Biology's another hurdle. Bettas are snack machines, needing constant nibbles on plants, small fish, or insects to fuel their high-energy fins. Feeding a sprawling empire in a flooded world is tough, and over-harvesting algae or prey could starve their ecosystems, like humans overfish their seas. Their reproduction is slow. Bubble nests yield only a few fry, and their territorial nature means not every fish plays nice with neighbors. Picture a betta leader, fins twitching, stressing over a shrinking food stash while fry bubble nearby. Even with sharper brains, balancing food and family would be a watery puzzle, requiring clever algae farms or current-driven food traps to keep clans thriving. Sustainability is a big wave to ride. Their shell tools and algae lanterns rely on healthy aquatic ecosystems, but a booming civilization could overplug plants or disrupt currents, dimming their cities. Imagine a coral plaza flickering as algae runs low. Yikes. They need to use their labyrinth organ to scout surface waters, maybe inventing bubble-based trackers to monitor resources. Their solitary vibe helps, but rapid expansion could upset their watery balance. Like humans trash their lands with sprawl. Picture a Betta scout, gulping air to check for overfished zones, racing to warn the clan. Finally, their feisty social structure could wobble. Bettas love their turf, and while they form alliances, their territorial streak could spark trouble. What if one clan hogs the best coral reef? Without strict leaders, disputes over prime currents could turn bubbly councils into fin-flaring shouting matches. Imagine a heated coral chamber, Bettas humming and flaring over algae rights, their scales glinting in frustration. They'd need epic flare-offs or bubble signal truces to keep the peace. Leaning on their competitive bonds to stay united. Can they outwin these challenges? Their ferocity and flair say they've got a shot, but it's a wild underwater ride. Next, we'll compare their shimmering world to ours and ask, could these fin champs outshine humans? At Running Earth, stay with us. This Betta fish saga is getting splashier than a tidal wave. We've just splashed through the wild challenges our Betta fish champs would face: turbulent waters, ferocious predators, and their snack-hungry, fin-flaring attitudes threatening their glowing underwater empire. But how does their shimmering, aquatic world stack up against human civilization? Could these vibrant swimmers really run Earth better than we did? Let's wrap up this watery saga with a deep dive into what their reign teaches us, plus a big, bubbly call to action to keep the adventure flowing. Let's break it down. Humans built incredible stuff: spaceships to the stars, sprawling cities, apps for instant tacos, but we also wrecked the planet with pollution, wars, and overfished oceans. Betta fish, though, their coral-crafted cities, pulsing with algae lanterns and current turbines, are pure aquatic magic, thriving in flooded ruins without trashing the ecosystem. Their territorial alliances could sidestep our global conflicts, settling disputes with fin-flaring councils or bubble-bursting showdowns, not battles. Picture a Betta leader, fins glowing like a neon crown, calming a turf spat with a well-timed hum. That's leadership with flair. But here's the catch. Their water-bound lifestyle limits them. Humans conquered land, sea, and air with diverse diets and tools, while Bettas might stay stuck in flooded zones, missing out on a global empire. Their shell and algae tech is sustainable, but might not match our leaps. Like inventing satellites or streaming apps. Still, their world is a total game changer. Betta fish's air-breathing labyrinth organ and fin-driven agility show us how to thrive in tough waters, using every current without wasting a drop. Their diet, gobbling algae and small critters like it's an underwater buffet, teaches us to live efficiently, sticking to what's around without draining the seas. Unlike us, they'd probably never clog their waters with plastic or overfish their snacks to extinction. Their solitary yet allied vibe is a masterclass in balance. Each fish guards its turf, but teams up when it counts, like a squad that knows when to flare and when to share. Their fierce resilience, darting through turbulent currents with the flash of fins, inspires us to roll with setbacks and keep the vibe sparkling. Like a Betta nailing a perfect swim after a stormy tide, it's a wake-up call to treat our own oceans with a bit more of their fin finesse, protecting the watery homes they rely on. So, what's the big takeaway? This Betta fish utopia isn't just a splashy thought experiment, it's a mirror for us. These fin-flaring superstars already rule their watery corners. Imagine what they'd do with a brain boost. Saving their real-world streams means a healthier planet for us, too, keeping those currents clear for their swims and our dreams. Could they outswim humans at Running Earth? Their eco-harmony and ferocity say they might just make a splash, and that's worth cheering for. That's a wrap on our Betta fish saga. What do you think? Would their shimmering coral world outshine our concrete chaos? Could their fin genius save the planet? Drop your wildest ideas in the comments. We're pumped to hear your bubbles. If you love this vibrant, watery adventure, smash that like button to show some love. It keeps our channel swimming. Share this video with your crew who'd geek out over a better old world. And hit subscribe with the bell to catch our next epic what if. Check out our other videos on alien empires, robot takeovers, or whatever crazy scenario we dream up next. Thanks for diving with us. You make these adventures awesome. Keep flaring, stay splashy, and we'll see you in the next video.